This is the Roulette Master, and I'm so excited today because one of my subscribers, Matt Hilton, says he wants to share with everyone how he's winning in the casino with his new 26 for the win roulette system. And I can't wait to share that with you, but we're going to test it in a head-to-head matchup today with the system that won the bracket challenge, Randall system. We're going to go with that first, and I can't wait to see which one of these systems makes the most money in 15 minutes. So we'll start with Randall's system first. And again, this won the Roulette Master bracket challenge. And I can't wait to share this with you as well. And let's go ahead and get started. Here we go. That's a 7 red. Okay, we lost the first one. All we need to do to win is hit one of the two. And if we hit the 14, 17, 20, or 23, those are jackpots. When you lose, you go up 1 unit. And that's what we just did right there. So let's see what we get on this one. Okay, that's a 16 red. And we got a $20 win. Okay, we're not in session profit, so we keep the bet the same and spin again. So we keep track of the highest level profit we've had since we've started with this one, and that's a 1 red. We lost again, so now we're at minus 40. We're going to go up 1 more unit, which is 30 each, $60 total on this next bet. And let's see if we can get a win. We only have to win one of the two, and that's a 24 black. Okay, we hit one of the two. You see we're not in session profit, so we keep the bet the same at 30 each and spin. And here we go. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I just played one of my favorite golf courses in the world today, Prairie Dunes, and had a great time. If you guys have been playing golf any, let me know. And love to hear about stuff like that. We're up 20, so we're back in session profit, so let's go ahead and spin. And we're going to keep track of that as we go here. And let me know down in the comments if you've played Prairie Dunes or another, top 100 course. Usually Prairie Dunes is ranked somewhere around 25th in the world, which is a really nice golf course. And very tough greens to putt on. I don't know how many of you are golfers, but I know a lot of you, some of you are big golfers because I get a lot of comments from you guys. So love to hear from you. And we're going to go ahead and increase again. And we're not in session profit right now. Let's see if we can get a win here. That's a 31 black. And that's another loss. We're at minus 100. We'll go up another unit. So now we're at 40 each. And I had so much fun playing Cascada in Las Vegas last month that when I go back to Las Vegas with my family here in a couple weeks, I'm going to take them. And that's our first jackpot win. You can see we hit the 17, we hit the second 12 and the second column, and now we're up $60. So let's go back to where we started at 10 each, and remember that we're at 60, so that's our session profit level. And here we go. But when I go back in a couple weeks, I'm going to take my my wife and son out to Cascada, and boy, it's an unbelievable experience. And we're up 100 now, and we hit another jackpot on that one at base level at $10 each. So let's see what we get here. So 2 jackpots already, and that's a 10 black. And that's a $20 loss. We're up 80. Let's go ahead and increase that. We also played another fantastic golf course on Lake Las Vegas, and that was much nicer than I thought it would be. And we're up 40. Let's just increase again and spin. And but Cascada was unbelievable. And so we're definitely going to go back there, and that's a 4 black. But I'm really looking forward. That's another loss there. I'm really looking forward to this next Las Vegas trip. We'll be there the week before Thanksgiving. And let's see. That's a 32 red. And that's a $40 win. And we're going to go ahead and keep the bet the same because we're not in session profit and spin. And usually I'm at downtown at Circa, but we're going to be at Resorts World this trip, and that's because I brought the family with. I'm bringing the family with me, and we're up 60. We're still not in new profits, so we're going to keep the bet the same and spin. And I ran into so many people at Circa and Resorts World last time I was there, and it was really nice meeting a lot of you guys. So hopefully I'll run into more of you on this next trip. Okay, we lost that. Let's go up again and spin and see what we get here. All right, that's a 36 red, and that's a $100 loss there. We're at minus 120. So we're going to increase again. But I have already planned an adult-only trip for the middle of December, which is going to be a lot of fun, and that will definitely be at Circa. That's my favorite place, and that's a $60 win. So we're not in session profit, so we'll keep the bet the same. And with this one, you always have that potential of hitting jackpot numbers, and that's a 34 red. Okay, we lost that one. We're at minus 180. We'll just increase again. And the great thing about this system is even when you think things are down, all it takes is a jackpot, and all of a sudden you're back in business. And that's a 9 red. And again, a jackpot. This is very unlucky to miss this many in a row when you have two of, a column and a dozen covered. But let's go ahead and recover here, and we hit a 0. Wow, that's horrible. Okay, so now we're at minus 480. We'll increase again. And we're going to need some jackpots now. That's a lot of losses when you have a dozen and a column covered, and that's finally a win on 15 black. But just not a jackpot win. We're at minus 390. We're just going to rebet and spin. And all we have to do here is get one of the two to get a win, and we haven't been able to do that up to this point. But there's a jackpot, 14 red. That helps out a lot. We're not in session profit because we had so many losses. So we're going to keep the bet the same and spin again. And then the bracket challenge, the Roulette Master bracket challenge, this system got behind a bunch of times, but it always came back and won. And another big win there. We're not in session profit, so we'll keep the bet the same, but we're close. So let's get one more win, and then we can reset. But just like you're seeing here, a lot of times this system got down, but it was not out, and it came back and won. Now we're up $150. We go back to 10 and 10. So having those jackpot numbers there makes it much easier to come back if you can hit one of them, and that's a 1 red. Okay, we lost that one. So we'll go up a unit. We're up $130 right now. And let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. Let me know where you like to stay when you go to Las Vegas. And that's a 32 red. That's a $20 win. We're up $150. We'll keep the bet the same and spin again. And also, I'm planning a trip to the East Coast after the second Vegas trip I have planned. And that's another jackpot. Look at that. We're up $230 now. We go back to 10 and 10. That is awesome. And here we go. So I've got that trip the week before Thanksgiving in Las Vegas, and then another trip mid-December. And then that's a $10 win there. We're up $240. And let's go ahead and rebet and spin. And I haven't completely decided on, we're going to go on a trip from the 26th to January 4th. And we're either going to do the East Coast or Phoenix. So we're up 280 now, and that's another jackpot. How about that? And we're still at base level, so we don't have to do anything to the bets. And here we go. Let me know down in the comments whether you would go to Scottsdale, which we're planning on doing, or I was also thinking about going to New York City and Boston again. So let's go ahead and we'll increase the bet after that loss and spin. And here we go. And I'm kind of leaning actually towards going to Scottsdale because it's going to be cold up in the in the Northeast. So we're up 220. We'll increase after that loss and spin. And again, it's really nice knowing those jackpot numbers are there. And here we go. That's a 28 black. And that's a $60 loss. We're going to increase again and spin. If we do go to Scottsdale and Phoenix, there's definitely going to stay at one of the casinos there. Probably the Talking Stick Resort is where I'm looking at. And let me know if you've been there. We're going to increase again after that loss. Let me know if you've been there and if you like it or not. So here we go. That's a 7 red. And we lost again. So this is why those jackpot numbers are so important. Because if you have a bunch of losses in a row, it's hard to recover without hitting one. And that's at least a win on 22 black there. But we're not in session profit, so we'll keep the bet the same and spin again. And here we go. But I'm going to try to focus on this next trip coming up and next year. And we're up 100. Let's rebet and spin. And I don't have a lot of stuff planned for it except definitely playing golf at Cascada again. And and doing a lot of gambling. But I'm sure we'll figure something out. That's a $60 win. We're up 160. The only thing that we're not in session profit, so we'll keep the bet the same. The only thing they have at the sphere right now is the Wizard of Oz. And I don't really think I'm going to probably do that, even though they say it's pretty good. Let me know down in the comments if you've been to the sphere and saw that, and if you liked it or didn't like it. So far, I've just been to see U2, and my wife dragged me to the Backstreet Boys there, which was interesting. But the U2 concert was amazing there. If you haven't been to the sphere, it's a really cool experience in Las Vegas, and unlike anything you've probably ever done before. And there's a nice $80 win. We're at minus 20. We'll just rebet and spin, and let's see if we can get another jackpot number. Here we go. That is an 11 black. Another $80 win. And all you have to do is get one of the two to get a win. And we've just been on some long losing streaks lately, so let's see if we can turn that around. And that's a 19 red. Another $80 win. We're up 140. Not in session profit, so we're just going to rebet and spin again. And here we go. All right. And again, coming up from Matt Hilton, the 26 for the win strategy. And I can't wait to share that with you. And we're at 90 and 90, 180 total now. And let's go ahead and spin again. That's a 34 red. That should be a loss. So we'll increase again. We're at minus 200. And again, just when you think you're out with this, a lot of times you hit a jackpot and you're right back in the game again. And that's what happened in the bracket challenge. And let's see if it happens again today. That's a good win. And we'll just rebet and spin. Again, all we have to do to get the wins like that, a $100 win there, was hit one of the two. And we didn't win that, though. That's a 3 red. Okay, so now we're at minus 300. We'll continue to increase when we lose. And jackpot would be huge once the bets get big. So let's see what we get here. And that's a 4 black. And I believe that's another loss, and it is. So we're at minus 520 out of a $2,000 bankroll. Let's go ahead and spend 120 each, 240 total. So let's hope that we get a jackpot soon, but at least we got a win there with 35 black. Hopefully that starts a trend because we're at minus 400. We're going to stay at this bet level because we're not in session profit. And let's see if we can turn this around. And it hit a 00, unfortunately. I hate when that happens, unless you're betting on them right. And we're just going to increase again. Michael, that I always see in the casino, though, loves the zeros, and he always bets on them. And but today, this has not been good. So let's go ahead, and we're at minus 900. We've lost almost half our bankroll, and we're really in need of a jackpot number. And again, those are the ones that are right across the middle, and we just hit one. That's a 20 black. Unfortunately, we've had so many losses that even though we hit a jackpot, we're still not in session profit. So we're just going to have to stay at this bet level and spin again. We've just had way more losses than what would be normal for this, and we lost again. So now we're at minus 620 out of that $2,000 bankroll, and we need a really good run here in the next couple minutes to get this one in profit. And that's a win there on 35 black again. So we've had two 35s. We'll just rebet and spin. And you know, sometimes you don't need a jackpot. Sometimes, since you only need to win one of the two, you can get on a really nice run. But we lost again with a 1 red. And let's see if that happens for us. We're at minus 770 out of a $2,000 bankroll and at 160 each currently. Let's see what we get here. That's an 11 black. Okay, that's a 160 win. We'll take it. Let's rebet and spin. And sometimes you can inch your way back by getting a bunch of partial wins in a row. And then all of a sudden, when you least expect it, you hit a jackpot. But that didn't happen there. We're at minus 930. So we'll increase again. And we'd love to see a 17, 20, 14, or 23. Any of those would be fantastic. And that's another loss with a 4 black. Again, this is a $2,000 bankroll. We have a little over $700 left in that bankroll. And we need to start getting wins here soon. This one usually does really well, but is not doing well right now. However, that's a jackpot, and that's a $720 win. If we could get one more of those, we'd be back in business. Let's see if we can get them back to back. That would be awesome. But we hit 00, so that's not good. And we're at minus 910, so we'll increase again. And let's see if we can hit another one of those. Again, the 14, the 17, the 20, the 23. There's one. That's a 14 red. How about that? $760 win. We're getting closer to being back in profit after all these horrible losses. Normally, you don't lose that many when you're betting on a column and a dozen at the same time. We'll have to increase again after that loss. Another jackpot would be massive, but I think we could do it with just getting some back-to-back wins. We only have to win one of the two, and there's one of them right there, so that helps. And again, we're making $200 each on those partial wins, so all we need to do is hit one of the two, maybe 3 or 4 times in a row, and we'd be in business. And there's a $200 win. So we're just going to hope that we get 4 in a row. All we have to do is hit one of the two, and we're due for a run. That's a 19 red. We did it again. Okay, so now we're up finally after this entire session. We're right at the 15-minute mark. Let's see what we get here. Okay, that's a 6 black. And we lost that one. That's a $400 loss. We're going to go ahead and increase again. And let's see if we can get ourselves back in profit here before we get to the 26 for the win strategy by Matt Hilton coming up here. But that's another loss. And those are 2 bad losses in a row. So let's increase again. Now we're going to 220 each, 440 total. And let's see what we can do with this one. It has a history of coming back a bunch of times. And that's a 220 win. We're at minus 530. And again, it's not that out of the ordinary to win 4 in a row with this because you only have to win one of the two. And that's a 9 red. But we lost again. So now we only have half our bankroll. And we could really use a jackpot. At this 230 bet on each, a jackpot would be really good. And that's a 12 red. And things are not going good now. We only have about $600 left. So we need to get a win here. In fact, I don't think we can lose any more after this one. And here we go. That's an 11 black. Okay, that kept us alive at least. We're just going to rebet and spin. Let's see if we can get on a streak of partial wins and then hit a jackpot. That's a 5 red. Okay, that gets us at least where we're not losing our bankroll on this one yet anyway. Let's see what happens here. That's a 16 red. That's good. That's another partial win. Okay, we're at minus 710. Again, you can get on a run here since you only have to win one of two, and we really need that. And that's another win with the 13 black. 240 win. We're at minus 470. And let's see what we get here. That's another win, 21 red. 240 win. We're at minus 230. Let's see if now would be the perfect time to get a jackpot and jump us way up there. But that's not a jackpot, but we'll take the win. 240 win. We're back up $10. And one more win here, and we could have a good session after all this craziness. That's a 7 red. We didn't get it, but we're getting close. So let's go ahead and increase again. Now we're at 250 each, 500 total. And let's see if this baby comes back for us. There we go, guys. We finally did it. That's a jackpot. That's a $1,000 win. We're up $530, and we did it. We had to go a little over the 15 minutes, but that was a great comeback, and I hope you enjoyed that. Now it is time for the new system from Matt Hilton. This is 26 for the win. He's been winning with this and wants you guys to win as well, so I'm going to share with you his strategy next. Can't wait for that, and let's jump right into it. Here we go. All right, the time is finally here for Matt Hilton's 26 for the win roulette strategy. He's been winning with this consistently and wants to share it with you guys. So let's do it and let's see what he's been up to. And we're going to look for the two dozens that have been the longest since they have hit. And so in this case, that would be first and third. And then we're also going to have $1 on the 0 and the 00. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. All right. That's a 25 red. Okay, that's an $8 win there. And we're just going to rebet and spin. Actually, wait, we need to switch the bets. So let's see what we get here, and then we'll do that. That's a 2 black. Okay, that's a win. So again, we need to stay on the ones that are the longest since they've hit. So in this case, it'd be second and third. But the different thing about this is going to be the progression. And here we go. He doesn't like progressions where it takes a lot of wins to recover. So this is going to be a single recovery method. Okay, that's an $8 win. We're up 24. And we'll be on, let's see, it looks like we'll be on first and second. And again, $1 each on the 0 double 0. This is 26 for the win by Matt Hilton. And that's a 12 red. Another $8 win. We're currently up 32. And it looks like we'll be on second and third. And let's go ahead and spin again. Here we go. All right. That's a 20 black. Another $8 win. So we're up 40. Once we have a loss, I'll share with you what to do next. And again, he likes a single recovery, not all these multiple wins to get it back. So let's go ahead. We'll be on first and third this time. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. All right. That's a 21 red. And we lost that one. So we're going to go ahead now. And what he does when he loses is he doubles twice. And then he gets immediate recovery instead of having to win multiple times. And that's a 0. And we have zeros covered. That's a $56 win. We're up 74. So we go back to base level. And we'll be on first and third. And let's go ahead and spin. And man, it is nice to win with the zeros after all the systems that I've played over the years that, you know, the zeros tear you up. It's nice to win on the zeros, and we lost again. So we're going to double twice and get a single recovery. And here we go. That's a 26 black, and I think we got it. $32 win. We're up 84. Now we'll be on first and second. We're betting on the two longest since they've hit. And let's go ahead and spin. All right, here we go. And he says he just doesn't like playing systems where you can get way behind and then need multiple wins to come back. He likes an immediate recovery. And we're up 92. And we'll be on second and third. Okay, so let's go ahead and spin again and see what we get here. And this is 26 for the win by Matt Hilton. And that's a 15 black. That's another $8 win. We're up 100. And we'll be on first and third. So let's go ahead and do that and spin. And he said the key to this is not playing all day to make a couple $100 and cash out. And I really like that. And that's what I like to do as well. And we're up 108. And it's when you play too long or get too greedy that you get in trouble with roulette. And again, I tell you guys this all the time, but most of the time you lose a lot. It's when you get up and then you lose that and then you press. And we don't want to do that. That's why you want it when you get up a good amount. Like say when we get up $200, we're going to keep testing this one today. But once you get up $200 when you're playing, I would recommend cashing out and declaring victory, just like those shirts say at theroulettemaster.com. On the front, they say cash out. And on the back, they say declare victory. And that helps remind you that if you declare victory when you're up, there's no way the casino can beat you that day. We're up 124. And let's go ahead and we'll be on first and second. Let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. Okay, well, I like how the zeros are covered with this. And that's an $8 win. We're up 132. Okay, we'll be on second and third this time. Going with the two that are the longest since they've hit. And here we go. That's a 3 red. Okay, we lost, so we're going to double twice and get immediate recovery. And let's get it right now. Let's stay away from those low numbers except for the zeros. And that's another win, 23 red. So we get immediate recovery. We're up 142. Okay, so now we'll be on first and third. And let's go ahead and spin again. Here we go. Okay. I think we lost that one, so we're going to double up again. We're going to double twice and get immediate recovery. And spin. That gets us to an $88 bet. And here we go. And we got the win. That's a 9 red. Awesome. So now we're up 152. And let's see if we can get up 200 like he says. and cash out. And we'll probably keep testing this like we always do for the 15 minutes, but let's see if we can get to that 200 mark like he says he's been getting to. And that's a 6 black. Okay, we lost, so let's double twice and get immediate recovery. Gets us to an $88 bet, and here we go. Okay, that's a 32 red. Another win. Now we're up 162. We're getting closer to that $200, and we'll be on first and second. And I really like how, that the zeros, if we weren't betting on them, could have really got us in trouble today. We almost hit the zero there. We lost that one, so let's double twice and get immediate recovery. Oh, let's do that again. I accidentally hit the button one too many times. So here we go. We'll double twice. Gets us to 88, and let's spin. Okay, we got the win. That's a 20 black. Got immediate recovery. And now we're up 172. All right, let's get back to winning at base level. Here we go. Most of the time you'll get a win on the first one, but if you don't, there's a really good chance you'll recover on the second one, and that's an 8 black. $8 win, up 180. We're getting closer to our goal now, and here we go. All right, and I'm sure there's been times when you have been playing a safer system where it takes a lot of wins to recover, and it is nice if you can get immediate recovery. But the key to systems with immediate recovery is that you don't want to play them all day. You want to play them until you get up a certain amount and then cash out. So let's go ahead and we'll do first and second. We're betting on the longest since it has hit, and let's spin. That's a 32, and we lost that, so we're going to double twice. And then we're going to get immediate recovery. And here we go. All right, let's see what we get here. All right, let's see what we get on this one, and that's a 23 red. That's another win, and we're getting closer. We're up 198. We're almost there, guys, and we'll be on first and third. And let's go ahead and spin. All right, let's get a good one here. Let's see what we get. Okay, that's a loss. We'll double twice and spin. Try to get our immediate recovery. Just had to turn my phone off. I accidentally left it on. People are always texting me, and that's a 19 red. Okay, this is the first time we've lost at the $88 level. So we'll double twice again. This is a $2,000 bankroll system. And let's hope we get a win here and stay away from that second 12. But we hit it again. So let's see where this puts us. And now, all of a sudden, we're at minus 264. And that's a $1,400 bet. I guess we can make it, though. It is a $2,000 bankroll, but we can't lose on this one. We have to get a win, so we can't have a second 12 here. And we got the win, but that was, that's why you want to cash out when you're up, because, and now we're up $248 again. But that's why you don't want to press it once you're up a couple $100. For instance, we could have cashed out at $200 before that happened. And granted, we did recover, but that could have easily cost us our bankroll. And a lot of times if you keep playing after you've won a good amount, something bad happens. And we're up 256. So the thing I stress to everybody every day, and a lot of people on the channel do as well, is just when you get up, cash out, and make sure that you're not going to give it back. Because again, when you get up and you give it back is when you lose the most. That's when you press and try to get everything that you had won back. And that's when you lose the absolute most. So try not to do that. Try to get up, get out, or do what I do every day, which is I get up the certain amount and I stay in the casino but don't bet anymore. Once I make the amount that I want to make, I just hang out with friends, have free drinks, and enjoy the casino environment. We're up 272, and we'll be on first and third. Now, if you're somebody that can't do that, you can try by just lowering your bets at that point, and that'll work. But I do better just once I've won what I want to win. I go watch other people win, and I enjoy free drinks and go sit at the sport book and in nice comfortable chairs and have some free drinks. We're up 280, and I don't even bet on sports. So I just like the chairs over there. So, enjoy your free drinks, enjoy the nice conversations, and enjoy watching other people win once you've won the amount of money that you like. We're up 288. And the only reason we're continuing to play is because we always test these systems for 15 minutes so that you can see the ups and the downs. But when you're playing in the casino, we want you to cash out when you're up a good amount. And I would recommend, most of these systems, a couple $200-300 is where you should pull the trigger and declare victory over the casino. Let's go ahead and spin again here. We doubled up twice to get immediate recovery, and we lost again. So again, this is why you don't want to keep playing. Okay, we're gonna have to double twice again, and we only have one more attempt after this. So with the $2,000 bankroll, so it's real important. And we got the win. Now we're up $306. So part of you might say, well, you wouldn't be up 306 if you had stopped, but we could have easily lost our bankroll, on a couple of those progressions. So when you're up a good amount, definitely cash out. That's an 8 black. And let me know down in the comments if you like immediate recovery, or if you like systems where it takes multiple wins but are a little bit safer. Okay, because there's upsides to both. I mean, sometimes you can get out of reach with a system. You can get out of reach with a system that needs multiple wins to recover, but it's also a little bit safer. And that's why the first system today, even though it didn't do very well to the very end, has some jackpot potential in there, so that it can help you get back if you hit one of those numbers. And that's a 29 black. Okay, that's an $8 win. We're at 330, and we'll be on first and second. And let's go ahead and spin, see if we can get another win here. And here we go. That's an 11 black. That's an $8 win. We're at 338. And let's go ahead and spin. We'll be on second and third. And let's see how this one finishes up. Here we go. That's a 17 black. Another $8 win. We're at 346. We'll be on first and third. We're betting on everything but what hit last, or the longest since it is hit. And here we go. And I love having those zeros covered. Almost every time you have a really bad session, zeros are involved and you're not betting on them. So it's nice, and sometimes it's a surprise when you hit the zeros and you win, because all the other systems that you play, you might not be betting on the zeros, and that's really cool. So, and sometimes again, it's a surprise because you're not used to betting on zeros. So you're like, oh crap, I hit the zero, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I won. And Michael, that I play with at the casino locally here, he always bets on the zero, so he's the opposite of that. So let's go ahead and spin, and we'll be on second and third 12. Here we go. Okay, that's a 7 red. Okay, and I don't know if you guys saw his system, but his system was betting on all the numbers around the 0 and the 00, as well as the 0 and the 00. And then he put an extra $1 on the 000, and he cashes out when he hits those. So we're up 372, and we got the win. So we'll be going back to base level, because again, this is immediate recovery. And then the key to his system also is that when you have a bunch of losses, that extra $1 that you put on the 000 continues to increase the amount that you're going to win when it finally wins. So we lost there, but let's get immediate recovery by doubling twice. And then again, let me know in the comments if you like immediate recovery, or if you like recovery where you have to get multiple wins. That's a $32 win. We're up $382. We'll be on second and third. And let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. All right, let's see what we get here. And again, this is Matt Hilton's 26 for the win roulette strategy. And I see how he's doing well with it. But remember, this is not one you want to just play all night long. And let's go ahead and spin. And we're right at the 15-minute mark, so this is our final spin. And that's a 13 black. Okay, so after 15 minutes, we won $398. We were up $200, I think, about halfway through, and that's about when you probably want to cash out with this one. But we did double that and make almost 400. But there were a few circumstances where we could have got in trouble. So let me know what you think of that down in the comments. Again, this is 26 for the Win by Matt Hilton. And thank you guys for sending these systems in. And thank you, Matt. Really appreciate you guys keep this thing going in the search for the best roulette system each and every day. I love seeing what you're sending in. So keep it up. Send those to roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. That's roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. We'll keep doing this every day. And if you're enjoying it, please like, share, and subscribe. And let's keep growing this community of people that love roulette. This is the Roulette Master, and have a great day, everybody.